Afternoon, everybody. Actually, I'm more of a teacher. I don't just like speaking. So I've done a PowerPoint presentation and all of that, but it seems I won't be able to work with that. So I'll go ahead, I'll do my best. Um, I don't know how many people have seen or have participated in any of my seminars, brand power, or you've seen it, you have an idea of what to do. Okay, so what I'll do in the next 15 minutes, I'll say I have 15 minutes, I'll try and work with that time. I'll see how to package at least the basic principles of what I teach together. And it cuts across every area of your life, whether as a professional, a business person, an entrepreneur, or your personal life. So as has been said earlier, I teach about personal branding. I would like to start with a story. It's the story of a friend of mine, Deji Falope. Deji Falope was a VJ with Sound City, and after a while, after some time, he joined a company, an advertising agency, which I also worked with. And Deji Falope, while working with us, was earning a good amount of money, from Bates Kose. That was the agency I worked with before I resigned. Deji, because he had built his brand as a presenter, Deji had the opportunity of interviewing, the who is who in the entertainment industry, from the band to Snoop Doggy Dogg and all of that. And anyway, he had a good presence in the corporate sector. For those of you who know Deji Falope, he anchors Motor Guinness Street Dance on TV. He currently anchors MTN Top 10 Countdown on radio and all of that. So anyway, Deji was a big boy in Bates Kose. He was earning a good amount of money. Later he resigned. I also resigned. And sometime I was with him in his car, and Deji was driving. While we were discussing, Deji said, I hope you know I don't have a degree. And I was surprised. Deji, you don't have a degree? He said, he doesn't have a degree. I don't get pali. That's what he said. I was really surprised. Because Deji was earning more than even some master's degree holders. But when Deji was with Base Kose, he was into new businesses. So his job was to try and bring in new businesses for the company based on his powerful network of contacts within the corporate sector and the fact that his face was a known face in some areas. So, that was why he was valued. And I was really surprised, and I thought about it. So you mean, he told me he started out at Unilag, studying architecture, but along the line, he dropped out. Deji confidently resigned from Bates Kose. Deji is currently on his own, and Deji is still making money, anchoring Motor Guinness Street Dance, anchoring MTN Top 10 Countdown on radio, and doing a couple of other things on the side. Deji is still making money. At least we still talk very often. Why was Deji's case like that? Deji had built his brand very well as a presenter. I'll just quickly also like to introduce a brother and associate of mine, Ugo Chukwumoye. Please help me appreciate him. Ugo, please come. You can see from his dressing. Do I need to tell you what he does? Okay, for those of you who knew Ugo in Covenant University, can you just raise your hand? You knew Ugo. What did you call him when he was in school? CUC. Okay, Ugo has rebranded from CUC to Ugo then. And I would just like him to talk about, just very briefly, 2-3 minutes, the essence of building your brand. Ugo doesn't work for anybody currently. He does his business. He's making money. Why? He has built his brand as a fashion designer. Now he calls himself an image consultant. And I'm one of those people promoting him because we must promote our own people. And we must make money together. So please, next 3-4 minutes, please, Ugo. Just tell
them. I've been able to, how would I put it? I've been doing this for a while. So I've been able to know the importance. I know the importance of personal branding. I've been able to differentiate myself amongst other people that have been in the industry. So what I did was that I've been looking at all the major players in quotes. I don't know how major they are, but I'm just using that term. I've been looking at all the players in quotes in the industry. And what are they doing that I can do differently? Most people have a thing in their mind about people that are into fashion, that number one, they always disappoint. They never keep to time. So what I started by doing was that I tried as much as possible to never disappoint. So I don't think I've ever done that. In fact, as a matter of fact, since I started my business till today, I've only had, before I used to say I've only had one unsatisfied customer, but I now have two. I now have two. But it wasn't because I disappointed. Well, it was because he chose something, but I didn't make him put it in writing. So after I produced it, The material he chose, by the time he washed it, the thing lost its groove. But I told him, I advised him not to use it. But he ended up using it anyway. What am I trying to say? I'm just trying to say that at the end of the day, I've been able to say, okay, this is the way I want to package myself. I know my target market. I produce for the HNIs. So how do I reach them? Like me, what I do is that anytime I meet a client for the first time, I try as much as possible to use the internet to communicate with them, because that is different on its own, because most tailors don't communicate via email. How many of your tailors will send you an email after when they take your measurement? So when I take their measurements, I'll just send them an email that, sorry, this is your measurement, just in case you want to use it for any other thing. So people know that this guy is a different being, or is different in his own, in how he operates. So I send them an email saying that this is your measurement. You might need it for any other thing apart from working with me, maybe for Ashwebi or anything, and you might need measurements. So stuff like that has differentiated me. I use internet a lot. I use that medium to communicate with them a lot. So stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, I try as much as possible to use that to communicate. So that has helped me in my business. So it has helped me in branding myself. They know that I'm not a local champion. I've never been a local champion in any way. So all that put together has packaged the whole thing in me and has made me part of what I am today. Thank you.
Just maybe I'll highlight one or two things in my presentation that he said. Now, so that we don't get it wrong, let me explain what personal branding is all about and why I am passionate about what I do, and whether the devil likes it or not, still like that, I won't stop. Okay. Basically, as I said earlier, I'd already done a presentation. I will run through it very quickly. As I go ahead, the outline is. I'll just quickly call it. I was supposed to do a quick definition. What is personal branding? Why do we need to brand ourselves? I'll just quickly look at the 8 laws of personal branding by an authority called Peter Montoya, qualities of a strong brand, and what opportunities does the Covenant University Alumni Association provide for you to build your brand. I say this because I meet with people very often, especially those who work in banks, and they tell me how I'm tired, just for the salary, sincerely speaking. And this has helped a lot of people. I get emails, I get text messages, I get all of that from people who have attended my seminars and people who have had time to sit down to discuss one-on-one. Sincerely, I know many of us are trapped in certain jobs, but there's something you are passionate about that you want to go out there and do. And you're thinking, what's the strategy? How do I go about it? And if you don't start early, if you stay in that trap for the next 10 years, you have children, you have a wife, it will be more difficult. But how do you tell your wife that you want to resign from your banking job because you want to go and pursue fashion designing, or what's it called? Maybe anything that you're passionate about. So I'll run through it just because I don't have much time, but I usually do detailed teachings. I don't speak, I teach. Okay? So what is personal branding? It's still a new and evolving field. It's bigger in the US, but even in the US, it's not that big yet. You know, I'm one of those people who has taken it up as a lifetime pursuit here in Nigeria. According to Tom Peters is regarded as the father of personal branding. In an article he wrote in a magazine called Fast Company, I think in 1994. He said, regardless of age, regardless of position, regardless of the business we happen to be in, all of us need to understand the importance of branding. We are CEOs of our own companies, me Incorporated. So for those of you who have met me, I tell you I'm the principal consultant of Derex-Briggs Incorporated. There is a concept behind it, okay? So, for example, you are the CEO of Lawrence Digital Incorporated, okay? So to be in business today, our most important job is to be the head marketer for the brand called you. And I said we need to see ourselves not just as a product, but not just as a product, but see yourself as a brand. What is a personal brand? According to Peter Montoya, your brand is a powerful, clear, positive idea that comes to mind. Please, I'm just reading this one. I'll go into some other things very soon. Your brand is a powerful, clear, positive idea that comes to mind whenever other people think of you. It is what you stand for, the values, abilities, and actions that others associate with you. It's a professional alter ego designed for the purpose of influencing how others perceive you and turning that perception into opportunity. Somebody said your personal brand is the real estate you own in the minds of your target audience. I want to run through these things. I'll do a more detailed explanation, okay? why do you have to brand yourself? Why personal branding? I'll just quickly state them and I'll do some explanation. It helps you to stand out from the crowd. Now, a lot of people graduate. How many people graduated this year from Covenant University? How many people? Okay. And so you do your youth service, and after that, thousands of you with other graduates will start looking for jobs. Sometimes, I know they taught you in EDS, start your business and all of that. There are some things you want to pursue right now that you need to learn under some other company. So for some of you, you may need to get jobs. And how do you stand out? Amongst 500 people, they need only 2 people. They need only 3 people after an interview. Why will you stand out on 500? Okay? Please, I will get there. As a professional, it makes you more attractive to employers. I don't know why people gave me this short time. Jesus Christ. It allows you to associate with your product. That's you. If you don't brand yourself, someone else will do it for you. Let me say something. For those of you who are professionals and you're already working, let me give an example. Celine Loda, she was the head of corporate communications with UBA. I don't know how many people know Celine Loda. She was the head of corporate communications with UBA. When she left UBA, because her brand was a very strong brand as a professional in the marketing communications area, when she left UBA to First Bank to become the chief marketing officer, it was a big deal. It was on newspapers. It was in magazines and all of that. Some of us, if we move from one company to the other, even Hebron Times won't take notes, okay? But she had built her brand to such a level that just one movement from one bank to the other had a lot of corporate buzz, okay? So these were people. This is an individual who has a very strong brand in her area. There are certain things about branding. It's not just packaging and all of that. There's so much. I'm very sorry. Maybe for my next seminar, those of you in Lagos that can come around, I really do teachings. I don't just speak to people, okay? But her brand was a strong brand. Now, look at, for example, if I say Tony Elumelu, what comes to your mind? No, maybe I shouldn't be asking all this again. If I say Tony Elumelu, what comes to your mind? No, just normally. What comes to your mind?
Corporate banking.
Banking, that's the word, okay? So if I say, let me stop there. But there are certain individuals that have built themselves so well that if you mention their name, just one particular thing comes to your mind. And we say it in branding, that a brand you must own a word in the minds of your target audience. So for example, if I say Ugochukwu Moyi, what comes to your mind? Fashion designing, okay? I've been known as chaplain, assistant chaplain and all of that in school. So people see me, even in Abuja, when we went to Abuja, somebody saw me say, chaplain. They have been seeing me as a pastor. Yes, I say I'm still a man of God. But professionally, I want to be known as a personal branding consultant. I've been doing this not up to 1 year. My first seminar was in November 2009. It's not yet November. But now when I call people, and when people call me, even from the UK, brand master, I'm happy about it. Yes, they started knowing me for what I want to be known for. So if you don't brand yourselves, others will do it for you. I do detailed teachings. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to rush through this. It's very deep. And some of the things I teach about, you can't find it in books. I think and I develop them myself. There are certain things that are available here. We'll let you know. Anyway, but you're getting the idea. Okay. You're not getting it? Okay. No, please, if you're not getting it, tell me. Now, the 8 laws of personal branding by Peter Montoya. I want to rush through this, okay? Maybe you should write it down first, and then I'll just do a brief explanation. The first one is the law of specialization. Maybe you should just write specialization, leadership. Second one is law of leadership. The third one is the law of personality. Yes, I will explain these laws. Just write it. Law of specialization, the law of leadership, the law of personality. The fourth one is the law of distinctiveness. Then the fifth one is the law of visibility. The sixth one is the law of unity. The seventh one is the law of persistence. And the 8th one is the law of goodwill. Okay, we have 8 laws here. Specialization, leadership, personality, or which one? Which one did I say first? Personality or perseverance? Personality, distinctiveness, visibility, unity, perseverance, and goodwill. Let me explain them very quickly. The law of specialization. Focus your brand on one area of achievement. Let's just state that quickly, and then maybe I will highlight a few of those laws. Focus your brand on one area of achievement. The law of leadership. You must be acknowledged as one of the most knowledgeable, respected, or skilled people in your field. Okay? So you should have top-of-mind awareness. When people are thinking about your field, you should be one of those people they should think of. Even if you are not there yet, you should be approaching that status. Okay? The law of personality. A brand must be built around one's personality in all aspects, including flaws. Maybe I should be explaining a little bit so I won't have to come back. A brand must be built around one's personality in all aspects, including flaws. Let me explain this. For example, as a pastor, I was listening to Sam Adeyemi sometime, and he used to be under, what's this ministry? George Adeboye's ministry, Rema. Now, and George Adeboye was this kind of vociferous pastor, like Ayori Sejafo. Eh? When he's preaching, and you know those kind of preachers, and they excite you, everybody's jumping up. Okay, but Sam, as you know him today, Sam doesn't shout or he doesn't excite people. He speaks very in a calm manner. How many of you attend this, sir? Okay, but he communicates effectively, and he's still doing very well. The church is going, isn't it? Okay, so when Sam Adeyemi started, he wanted to preach like his father, George Adeboye, and he was, but along the line, he noticed that, there's something wrong with this. It's not working for me, Yeah, he works for George, but it seems he has an issue because I'm not very comfortable. This is not my style. He decided to do it the way he does it. So he speaks in a calm manner, and today he's working for him, isn't it? Okay, so the law of personality states that you must, I'll explain. Okay, so I said a brand must be built around one's personality in all aspects, including flaws. Don't try to be like somebody else. That's why when I teach, somebody was telling me, even Papa, he doesn't preach with all those phonetics or what they call, like Steve Harris. Somebody was telling me maybe I should go to that school, diction and all of that, so I can start talking like Steve Harris. I say, it will work for me. I know my positioning. I usually say to myself, I'm an upwardly mobile brand with a mass market appeal. So I can speak pidgin when presenting. It's my style. It works for me. I don't have to appeal to VGC kind of people. No. I'll go to Ajegunle with this my campaign. Okay, so I need to be, okay? All right, so your brand must be built around your personality, including your flaws. So if you're the kind of person who you talk in a calm way, don't try to talk like that because when Lawrence is, say not try that way. It may not work for you, okay? I'm just using that as an example. There are many other ways at the time, all right? So the law of distinctiveness. Once you have created your personal brand, you must express it in a unique way. That's what makes you stand out, okay? There's something we call USP, unique selling proposition. U stands for your ultimate advantage. S stands for your sensational offer. P, your powerful promise. Why, as I said, you guys have just graduated. You start going for job interviews and all of that. Why will you stand out from other people? I've gotten to the level where I've said, okay, I'm doing my own thing, but there's no way I can drop a CV again for anybody. Now, you know what that does for me? It drives me. I must work very hard. Worst case scenario, if I'm not making so much money doing this thing, they should come and poach me. I shouldn't apply to anybody. It will be an insult, okay, after teaching personal branding, because I practice what I teach. I don't want to teach you something, I'm going to do something else. So for those who are close to me, they know, okay? I'm trying to be fast. I'm very sorry. It's the time. Okay, so the next one, the law of specialization. I haven't said anything about that. Specialization. Okay, I've said something like that. Okay, the fifth one, yeah? Okay. The law of visibility. Sorry. Okay. The law of visibility. To be effective, our personal brand must be seen repeatedly. So you know what your target audience is. For example, I saw people now, they say, we've been seeing it on Facebook, your seminars on Facebook. Okay, so one way or the other, I'm visible on Facebook. In fact, I've just realized Facebook is a very powerful tool because it's like a reality show. I saw somebody, he said, I've been seeing your programs on Facebook. I felt like one star. Me, my program was, it's like Google Ultimate Search or something, Facebook is very powerful. So I said, okay, that is secret. Okay, I'll be putting it on Facebook. Okay, interestingly, a lot of people, I get messages from abroad, from Canada and the US, because I realized that those people abroad are more interested in seeing what's happening in Nigeria, especially those in London. We have a lot of our colleagues in London. For example, if I go to London next year to do my seminar, it's not a problem. I have many fans. I know their numbers. They've been calling me, okay? So it's very interesting. Facebook is a very powerful platform. And one of the reasons why I teach branding, and everything I do is deliberate. I always have this Nigerian lapel. It's deliberate. I went to Kenya sometime. That's part of what I've fired my passion, okay? Because look at what this guy did. What's his name? Mutalab. Just the action of Mutalab put Nigeria's name on the list of terrorist countries, okay? And people traveling abroad will have to be scrutinized even more just because of his action. Flush down the Kunili's rebranding campaign. Rebranding is not about new logo slogan in Nigeria good people. That's nonsense. You have to brand the people. We are the people representing our country. As I traveled to Kenya, I got to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and I was younger, okay? And I put on a kaftan, and just like as I was about to go out, somebody stopped me, one of the law enforcement officers, and said, they wanted to search me and all of that. I was wondering, why? Do I look like a criminal for the first time? And they searched me. Then the vice chancellor here gave me a gift for the vice chancellor of one university in Kenya. United States International University, and they checked everything, and they had to open the gift. I was, what's all this nonsense? And when they finished, they didn't find anything. They apologized. I said, no problem. I left. My dad was waiting for me outside, and I got there. And he said, but I saw you coming. How come you still delayed? And I said, they stopped me to check me. And he said, oh, it's the way you're dressed. You look like a Nigerian. It annoyed me. So because I looked like a Nigerian, they had to stop me and all of that. Later, I started interacting with the Kenyan guys in church, okay? And I realized that Nigerians had been known for drug trafficking. And so when they see a Nigerian, they see you as a potential drug trafficker. And so they feel, okay, if they stop you, worst case scenario, if you have something, maybe they can get bribe. I don't know. Okay, so they stop. And I said, no, we have to work on our image. And so when I do a seminar, a lot of people look at me and they think I'm crazy about what I do, but there's a strategy, and I know where I'm going to. When I do a seminar and I upload it on Facebook, I want people to see that good things are happening in this country. We don't just have Yahoo guys. The problem with us is not as if we don't have a lot of good things happening, but the good people are quiet, and the bad people are making a lot of noise about what they do. Okay, so I'm really passionate about this thing I do. And some people are wondering. I know one woman who writes about sex every Saturday. What's her name? Fume Akimbadi on Punch. How does she get the inspiration? Sex, one topic. And she'll be doing it for God knows how long. And some people are wondering whether I'll be able to sustain this. Actually, like that, you see it now. Be watching it on Facebook, watching the reality show. Doubt. So God actually gave me a vision statement, a clear vision statement. I resigned from my former company. He told me to resign. And it was dangerous for me because for those who were close, I told you then to pray for me. I called Godfrey Shegbe. Godfrey said, how would I resign? Don't go and beg me for money. I was like, God, but I did it. But interestingly, when you obey God, you won't suffer shame. So I resigned, and after I resigned, I started hearing him more clearly. For about 2 weeks, it's not as if I used to hear like that. It's not as if he was speaking to me, my son. No. But if I opened the Bible, everything was speaking to me. And so I got a clear vision statement, and he said to me that I should raise 1,000 individual brands, take them from local to global status by 2030. And I was wondering, God, why? I said, why me? I'm not even a global brand. And he said, that's why I want to use you. So that when it happens, people will know that it's him that did it. Okay? So there's a lot of things that fuels my passion. Where was I? The law of visibility. The law of unity says that your behaviors behind closed doors must match your public brand. And so, for example, Julius Agu, who is a comedian outside, you shouldn't meet his wife and say, it's very boring. You should be comedian. You should be a comedian inside, okay? If I inspire people as an inspirational speaker here, in my house, I should inspire people. You should get the same testimony. My sister said, man, my brother is just a crazy guy. He's just an inspiration. There should be that unity, okay? There should be harmony. And so you shouldn't be one thing outside and another thing inside. You get the idea? I'm just trying to be fast. I can give you a lot of examples. Okay? The next, law of persistence. Once you have established your personal brand, give it time to grow. Stick with it and ignore fads. Okay? Some people are lured away from their real passion just because they feel, this is in vogue, and they run towards it. Okay? Stick with it. Okay? So I've picked up personal branding. You see, I'm also obeying the laws. I don't teach on relationship today. Tomorrow, leadership. Not that I can't speak on those things. Maybe not relationship. I'm not good at relationship, I confess. I've been getting, okay, sorry. Man, you guys didn't do me well. 3 minutes. Okay. Anyway, let me just be fast. So, please be persistent, whatever you've chosen, okay? The law of goodwill. The more you are perceived as well-intentioned or embodying valued ideas, the more influential your brand. And I teach about something called personal social responsibility. I first coined the concept before I started checking whether it even existed. And great brands make a big difference. Last year, Silverbird did something. They said five greatest living Nigerian legends or something. Okay? And then we had Kanu Nwankwo there. You had Gani Fawemi there. You had about 3 other people. And I was wondering, okay, why is it that of all the sportsmen, why is it Kanu Nwankwo that was there? Why wasn't it Okocha? You see, Kanu Nwankwo had connected emotionally with a lot of Nigerians. He had done well by setting up the Kanu Nwankwo Heart Foundation. Okay? And his brand is a very strong brand because of that. Great brands make a big difference. So I call that personal social responsibility. A lot of people apply it. Some of them do it unconsciously, but their brand is strong. They don't know it's because of what they've done. So what I do teach people to do is to do it consciously. So Joshua, tomorrow you set up one, you get what I'm saying? You're doing it consciously. You want to make a difference, fine. But then you're building your brand, okay? So, for example, Bishop Mike Okonkwo does some essay competition and stuff like that. He has a foundation, okay? That keeps his brand relevant. And he's more influential. Not just, yes, a powerful man of God and all of that, but that is a social responsibility initiative, a personal social responsibility. Now, look at Lekayada, for example. Like Elder is the principal consultant of Elder Consulting. He does something on Inspiration FM currently. Mind Your Business with Like Elder. That alone has helped him to connect a lot of Nigerians, and people call in for the program on Inspiration FM, and they get advice on business, entrepreneurship, and all of that. Okay, so you can find in your own area, how can I do something that makes a difference in myself? So as I said, I practice what I teach. So I do something, I call it brand power. Okay, and so it's a quarterly for some people have attended here. With time we'll go bigger. So it's a free seminar. Somebody was asking, when will you start collecting money? I said, no, I will never collect money for brand power. Maybe in the future I'll do some kind of seminar on my company platform, okay, and collect money for that. But for that brand power, it's quarterly. I have to do it free of charge. And that has also helped me to build my brand. Now I want to end. I shouldn't have ended like this, but they said 3 minutes. I'm sure my time is done. So let me just end. My greatest inspiration is Jesus Christ, where I see him as the ultimate personal branding strategist. The biggest. And so for me, when I teach about personal branding, my greatest inspiration is from Jesus Christ. Now, there's a firm in the US, it's called the Blake Project. According to the Blake Project, there are 5 drivers. You may want to write this down as well. I'm ending here. There are 5 drivers of brand assistance, okay? The first one is emotional connection. Emotional connection. Please take this thing seriously, all these people working in banks and all of that. I wouldn't like to see you crying tomorrow, in 10 years' time. I'm trapped. I can't get out of this. Please, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I can already see certain things. You know, I'm not just saying banking. Please don't be angry with me. Many other areas. Okay? People are stuck doing what they're not passionate about. You need to be. You know, look how Ugo is having fun, man, making money, just making clothes and all of that. Me, I have fun talking, so I want to make money from it. Look how Oprah Winfrey. No, God. Please, we need to start. The earlier the better before one baby starts crying. Daddy. You know. Okay, so emotional connection. The next one is value. 5 drivers of brand assistance. Emotional connection. Value. Accessibility. Awareness. And relevant differentiation. So I'm ending, please. How did it play out in the life of Jesus Christ? Let me not start with emotional connection. Let me start with value, for example. Okay? He promises us eternal life, isn't it? When you give your life to Christ, so there's something you get in exchange, eternal life. Your life doesn't just end here on earth, okay? You have awareness. Look at it today now. You have Bibles everywhere, men of God like Stephen Oga, okay, Elder, preaching, traveling around the world. And, so Jesus Christ, many of us are even gathered. It's not because of Jesus Christ we are here today, Bishop Boyd, for this ministry, okay? So there's a lot of awareness about the brand, okay? Now, even Coca-Cola, I served in a village called Karasua local government, Jajimaj in Yobe State. In fact, forget about it. But you could find Coke there, okay? So, awareness. Which one that one? Awareness, okay? So, accessibility. How accessible is he? It's just as easy as saying, Jesus Christ, you want to accept him into your life, you just mention his name, and is that accessible? You don't have to go to one shrine somewhere and, kill some goats. No. Is that accessible? Just at the mention of that name, okay? So, accessibility. Relevant, no. Emotional connection. Emotional connection. How did he connect with us emotionally? He paid the ultimate sacrifice. What else can a man do to make you more, than to lay his life down? That he died for you. And so even when you share the gospel with people, it's because, he died for you. He died for you. Okay? So that's how he connected with us emotionally. Just like Kanu Wanko has connected with a lot of Nigerians. Kanu Wanko has foundation. He has sent people's children for heart surgery and heart transplant and all of that. Okay? So that's how he applied it. Emotional connection. Which one is the last one? Relevant differentiation. It's very interesting. There are a lot of people that people look up to as Messiah and all of that. So we have Buddha, we have Muhammad Abi, we have Jesus Christ. How did Jesus Christ differentiate himself? Because as I teach personal branding, I say you need to differentiate yourself. Whether your field goal was talking about, the fact that he sends emails about people's, okay, you've differentiated yourself with that, okay? So how did Jesus Christ differentiate himself? He was the only one that died and rose again on the 3rd day. I've been alive. Some people tried, they did not wake up. Thank you very much. Okay, please, before I end, please, you have to help me, Ugo. Please, 1 minute, I finished. Please, don't be angry. No, not you. Just in case you need the presentation, this one, and several other presentations have been made in my seminars, not just by me, by some other professionals. There's a CD available. I also use it to raise funds for my seminar. I just started. There's a CD available. It's called Brand Yourself. This is volume 1 because more volumes will cover, including one of Ugo's presentations we made at Abuja. Developing your signature style is about dressing and all of that. It's available for 1,000 naira. If you've been interested, you can come and see me. Just, if you want to do more than that, fine, because you are sowing a seed into the work. God bless you. Thank you.
Please, can we make that clap louder and louder for Howard Briggs? Amen. It's obvious that he had so much to share with us, but we are time bound because we have other people that are here to also share with us. So if after the session this afternoon you are interested in having some time out with him, he's going to be here. Between this afternoon and evening session, you could also meet him, and we have some of his materials available. I believe it will go a long way to bless us. Let's give him another clap and just appreciate him. Howard, thank you so much. God bless you and prosper you. Amen. So we move very quickly to the next speaker for the afternoon. Now, this is a very young man also, just like you and I. He's one passionate about nation building, human development. He made a very striking statement in one of his books. He has written quite a number of books. One of them, Back to Sense, How Africans Can Super Develop Africa. Another of his book, The Nigerian Dream. Another, Green, Wise Green. He's a young author, a young motivational speaker, someone that has gone to quite some places sharing with young people like you and I on how we can set the right foundation for the future of Nigeria that we desire and we see. He said something, he said, our land is not cost. It's not cost. Our minds are simply not on course. And that's basically the problem of Nigeria. And I strongly agree with him because it's not just the resources that we lack. We have them in abundance. The major problem we have is resourcefulness. Our minds are largely underused. So this afternoon, as we invite our brother, Samson Adapor, who will be coming forward to share with us this afternoon. Please give him a clap offering as he comes.
Good afternoon. Hello. I am Samson Adapol, as you've been told. I'm a Nigerian from Benue State, and by God's grace, a Christian. I'm a human and national development expert. It's amazing that we've come so far. Nigeria is 50 yesterday. But it's good for us to ask ourselves some questions. Are we really 50 years old, or we are 50 years caged? Are we 50 years old, or we are 50 years sick? We've blamed our backward level of development on the lack of infrastructures. Of course, infrastructure has its own responsibility to bear. But we are where we are majorly because of the lack of human structure. Infrastructure is simply basic amenity for comfortable living. But human structure is basic mentality for productive living. Most people into manufacturing, or those that intend to go into manufacturing, excuse themselves from work due to the lack of proper power supply. But we are where we are indeed because we lack proper mental supply. The transformers that we lack, or the equipment that we lack for our power generating authority, were not invented by angels. They were invented by people. Praise God. So if we have human structure, I tell you, we can also invent the stuff we lack. Way back then, Nigeria we say because Ajakuta Steel Company is not working. That is why we don't go into ventures like car manufacturing, automobile manufacturing. But all of us can see how the developer is coming to a level where they are using fiber, plastic to make cars. So by the time Ajakuta Steel Company start working properly, you may be surprised. The developer will start using plywoods to make cars. So it's high time we come back to sense. One of my friends returned from Spain January this year. He shared an amazing, painful story with me. And I learned some things from the story. He was working for a factory in Spain. Because of the global economic recession, Am I right? Economic global recession or global economic recession, sorry. Factory owners in Spain decided to start adopting robots. They collected huge loans from banks and started importing robots from Japan. Now, why the choice of robots? Robots does not need housing allowance. Robot does not need salary at the end of the month. Robot does not need pregnancy leave. He said his company imported 2 robots. The first day, 1 robot started work, 4,000 workers lost their jobs. The second day, 4,000 staff lost their jobs, skilled, learned workers. Development is happening so fast that we'll soon fully enter into our age I call the age of machine. Not the age of machine. Man and shin. Man-shin. By the time the world succeed to make banking robots, will you survive as a banker? Then a big bank will just have 2 staff. The manager and a gardener that will clean the banks. The rest function will be performed by computers, robots. By the time the world succeed to make tailoring robots, will you survive as a tailor? 50 years before now, nobody in Nigeria would believe everybody can use mobile phone. Today, it has become a cheap possibility. The world is coming to a point where they will make tailoring robots. Just like how you have washing machine. People will go to LG shop, Samsung shop to buy tailoring machines. Okay? Now, if you want to sew suits, you just go get your fabrics on the market. Then there will be different CDs for different suit design. Italian design, Nigerian suit, British suits. You get your CD. Then you impute your size into the system. And in 5 minutes, you feed the fabrics into the tailoring robot machine. And in 5 minutes, your suit is out. As a tailor, at that point, will you survive as a tailor? You can survive if you can use your mind. The only edge man has over robots is the human mind. The robot does not have a mind, so it cannot think, it cannot dream, it cannot imagine, it cannot innovate. So if you are working on a level where you cannot use your mind, you've already been sacked in advance by robots. Because very soon, now we'll have some small gadgets, medical gadgets, that if somebody that is sick, attach it to maybe one part of the body, maybe hands or legs, the gadget medical gadget can decode what is wrong with the person. Cancer, this and that. Time will come when you just have, if you have your money, maybe 2 million, you just buy a medical doctor that is a robot for the family. So as a doctor, will you survive by the time the world fully make a medical robot? This is not science fiction, it is real. The only edge you have over the robots is the human mind. In the age of atomic bombs were designed, created to destroy lives. But we're entering into an age of atomic robots, and robots are being designed to destroy livelihoods. The bankers that will survive the age of atomic robots will be those that can use their minds. If you can use your mind as a banker, you go back and withdraw to your drawing board, to your room, thinking room, and then begin to create designs, softwares, banking softwares that different banks will pay you for, the way they pay for softwares, computer softwares for. As a teller, if you can use your mind, by the time the world succeed to make banking robots, you'll be sitting down to design different design for wares, dresses. Then you have them in CDs. Then people can buy them. Maybe one of your CD, $50. And we have about 150 million Nigerians. And maybe 10 million can access that CD. Check out. You still be in money. But if you're a teller that just sit down to buy all those magazines, fashion magazines, and then before you design, by the time the world make banking robots, tailoring robots, you'll be out of job. Now, money is not a cure to poverty. We have 3 levels of advancement. The first level of advancement is money. The second level is riches. The third level is wealth. Money is simply economic purchasing power money has benefit. It has its power. Money has potentials. Money is simply economic purchasing power. Riches is simply enjoyment accessing power. A big car, a big house with swimming pools and flat screen televisions. Those are riches. Properties, those are riches. But wealth is power producing power. When you have money, you can access riches. With 100 million, you can buy a property in Aja probably. In VGC probably. And money, you make money from your strength. You have a good degree, first class. In chemical engineering, you get a good job with Chevron or Shell. Then you make riches from your money, from your silver. But wealth, you can't make wealth by getting money. The truth is that money can be earned, but wealth can't be earned. Wealth can only be birth. You make wealth from your seed, from your mind. Hello? Go to Port Harcourt. You see countless statistics of former Shell employees. When they retired from Shell as senior engineers, they were paid $2 million. 2 years after, they are broke. They had money. They had riches. Okay? Now, most Nigerian millionaires are not millionaires, they are simply cashiers. A cashier may handle in daily transaction 100 million naira accounting, but at the end of the month, they may pay him 100K. What makes you a millionaire is not your ability to gather money, it's your ability to establish economic systems. Hello? You can inherit money from your parents. You can inherit money from somebody. You can inherit riches, but you can't inherit wealth. Wealth can only be cultivated. The prodigal son inherited money from the dad. He met the father. The father was a big boy that has made money maybe through gold, through selling crude oil. And he met the father and said, Father, give me my own portion of national cake. Give me my own portion of goods that falleth to me. He got probably 50 billion. The Bible says he took a journey into a far country and spent the money on righteous living. He had money, but he never had system. He became poor. So what makes a man wealthy is not the amount of money he has in his pocket or in his bank account. It's the amount of system he has. Somebody may have a system of 100 billion and physically may just have 10,000 naira every week in his hands. But give that person time. Bill Gates, the first company Bill Gates opened when he was 13 years old, old data. Himself and his friend, they earned just barely about $20,000. But as of 1995, Bill Gates' daily earnings was $25 million a day. Converted to naira. Can somebody convert $10 million to naira? That is 1 point, in today's money, about 1.5 billion. How far can you work with Shell or Chevron to earn that much? A day. And it was noted that if Bill Gates should retire from work, from Microsoft, if he should stop earning, he needs to spend $7.8 million every day for his money to finish in 35 years. And we have so much potential for wealth in Africa. Hello? Wealth does not proceed. Money proceeds from your situation. This brother, he's earning well. Why? Because he works with Chevron or Shell. He's earning well. Why? Because he works with Glow. But wealth proceeds from your potentials. Hello? But does it mean that somebody cannot make wealth while working for Glow? Of course, if you apply the sense for wealth, even as a worker, you create wealth. You earn money by working, but you earn wealth by creating. Hello? My brother shared with us one of his colleagues. They were working for the same advertising firm, but because of his level of creativity, the rest, they were working. But this one is creative on his job. Therefore, they were paying him higher than even people that had higher CV, educational profile than he has. Hello? Now, you make money by working, but you make wealth. You earn wealth, you birth wealth by creating. Listen. The wealth of Africa does not lie in investment. There's a higher level than the level of investment. I call it the level of investment. Investment is doing business by visible opportunities. But investment is setting up systems, industrial systems, economic systems that will empower you to maximize, to harness the invisible opportunities you as a person is endowed with, or the invisible opportunities your country, your environment is endowed with. That's where the wealth of Africa lies. It does not lie in buying and selling. It lies in creating and selling. Hello? That's why when you see foreign investors coming to Nigeria, they don't come to buy the stocks of GTB. They don't come to buy the stocks of First Bank. They come to set up economic systems, investment systems that make them harness the raw potentials we have in Africa. Hello? It's a shame that the best bread bakery in the country now, go to the north. I was surprised. I was in Gusau some few weeks back. I saw Ostrich Bakery. Ostrich is owned by, I think, Chinese or Indian people. Baker's Delight, they are owned by foreigners. The leading FM station today is Wazobia. Wazobia is established by Lebanese. Investment. If you step into the realm of investment, you step into the level of multiplication. On the level of investment, you're on the level of addition. If I work for Shell for 20 years and they pay me 10 million naira every year, 10 million times 20 equals to 200 million. So after 20 years, I can earn 200 million. But when you step into the level of investment, what others will wait to work for Shell for 20 years before they can earn 200 million, with your sense, you can earn it in a day. Bill Gates earns, as of 95, about $4 billion every day through the power of investment. If the white man has Gary, he will not just see it as ordinary Gary. He will package Gary into Caflex, cassava flakes. And before you know, Gary will be packaged like cornflakes and will be sold all over the world. If the white man has what we call granite cake, kuli kuli, he will package it into quisquit, kuli kuli skit, like biscuit. And before you know, shops in Japan, in New York, in Dubai, you will see quisquits that will be sold. Come on. There's a company they call Walmart. Walmart has, as of 2004, 98,000 managers. Not employees, 98,000 managers. Through the power of investment. So it's high time. We have so much responsibility. We've gone to school to learn. But we'll continue to remain under. Our forefathers never saw the 4 walls of nursery 1. But they are more educated than we are. Hello? Our forefathers never went to school to study integrated science. But they saw cassava, they processed cassava to gari. They saw beans, they processed beans to moi moi. They saw granite, they processed granite to granite cake. Hello? They saw melon, they processed melon to egusi soup. Me and you that have PhD in several disciplines, what have we done to improve on what our fathers did or to invent new products for the next generation to feed on? We have everything except the investment sense. Yam to us is just meant for eating. But I tell you, by the sense of investment, we can process yam to several products. To yam Panadol, to yam toothpaste. You know yam scratches the body. Probably somebody will just sit down, decode some chemical codes in yam and say, come, if yam can scratch the body, it means if I have yam here, an insect cannot come and feed on my food and all that. There's so much opportunities. Nigeria is waiting, the world is waiting for the Nigerian that will invent a chemical that you store into a can like shelters. That when you spray in a room, in a big hall like this, if there's no light, the chemical will condition the room or the hall for 3 days. The world is waiting for the man that will invent a drug that when people swallow, it will immune them against bullet poison. When they shoot the person bullet and the bullet enters, it neutralizes it. Those are cheap possibilities that we can achieve. The world is waiting for the man that will manufacture a certain drug that in war-torn areas, when there's famine and hunger, you just take a tablet for 3 months, and if you eat akpu, a plate of food, it will serve you strength for 9 months. Those are cheap possibilities. It's a shame. How many of us have the vision to make handkerchief? Count Nigerian youth, maybe about 50 million. You hardly find any that has vision to make handkerchief. The 99% of the handkerchiefs we use in the country are imported from China. Look at laptop. Even if we cannot make laptop, we can make laptop bags. All the laptop bags we spend money for 4,000, 5,000, 9,000 are imported. Because we lack investment sense. We need to indeed come back to sense. The moment we connect to the investment sense, it gives you the power to multiply. Hello? As I round up now, let me share briefly with the story. How many minutes do I have? Okay, fine. God will help me. We have two forms of madness. The first form of madness is what I call social insanity, as I noted in my book, Back to Sense, my 6th published work. Social insanity is simply the loss of man's reasoning sense. Social insanity are the normal mad people you see outside there on the street, under the bridge. But the most predominant form of insanity is what I call destiny insanity. While social insanity is the loss of man's reasoning sense, destiny insanity is the loss of the sense of the reason for life. The person's reasoning sense is intact, but he has lost the sense of the reason for life. Now, there's a restaurant in Abuja where a plate of food goes for 35K. One plate of food. And we have Nigerians that walk into that restaurant to eat. There's a boutique in Port Harcourt, in GRA, something Sleek Affairs or something. You go there, you see shoes, one shoe, $5,500. And we have the people that patronize the boutiques are not expatriates. They are Nigerians. There's another one they call him, somewhere around off Woji Road in Port Harcourt. Now, if you are going to him, you need to be mindful of the type of car you use. If your car is not up to their class, they won't open the door for you. Truth. You see, in Port Harcourt, where we're crying, pair of trousers, one trouser, $250K. It is madness. It is not normal for somebody to spend 350,000 naira on just a dog, pet. And yet you pay your security man, Malam Sani, 10,000 naira. They ask you why. So Malam Sani doesn't have a degree. Well, you are here to tell us where your dog bag his degree from, that you are spending 350K. It is destiny insanity. It's not normal for us to take Nigeria to the level that it needs to be. We need sacrifice. It's not normal. There are perfumes for 2,000. There are perfumes for 3,000. But somebody out there prefers to buy a pair for 25K. It is destiny insanity. You buy a perfume for 25,000 naira, in 3 weeks it's off. You buy another one. And yet, you don't have any research and development structure for your business. As big as Dangote, Dangote doesn't have a research and development company. Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company, the research and development company has 12,000 scientists working under it. Microsoft spends $6 billion on R&D every year. Michael Dell spends $4 billion averagely on R&D every year. Pfizer spends $5 to $6 billion every year on research and development. Personally, how much do you spend on R&D? Everything is on eating, dressing. If you can have an R&D culture personally, like my brother Better mentioned before, you know, all of us, we are born with companies. Everybody is born with a seed. Your seed may be in engineering, maybe in fashion, maybe in chemistry. To succeed, all you need to do is to develop your seed for others to suck. Succeed. The prodigal son suffered from destiny insanity. He got 50 billion from the father. He took a journey into Germany and bought a Hummer Jeep for $45 million. The type Snoop Dogg uses. Before you know, he became broke. But thank God there's a cure to destiny insanity. Let me share with you one trait of destiny insanity. When a man suffers from destiny insanity, he's reduced to a madman's life. The way a madman behaves, that's how he also behaves. And the behavior is also reflected on the level of animals. Now, when you say a madman, most mad people you know, some of them have degrees. They have good families. Some of them are doctors, elites. But the moment they become mad, they are always home away. You never see a madman under Oshodi Bridge. Okay, it's 9 p.m. Let me get home. No, they always remain under the bridge. So mad people are always home away. Their mind is always away from home. That's why the most dominant thought in the heart of an average Nigerian youth is how to be away from Nigeria. It's an insanity trait. Now, thank God there's a cure to destiny insanity. The cure to destiny insanity, go back to the story of the prodigal son. The prodigal son noted that, he said, how many hired servants have my father? I will go back to my father and tell him I'm not ready to be called a big boy. Make me as one of your servants. So the cure to destiny insanity is the spirit of service, of servanthood. Until you become a servant, you'll not be empowered to work in the realm of multiplicity. Servant is a compound word. It's made up of two words. It's made up of serve and ant. So for you to be an effective servant, you must understand the nature of an ant and then serve in that light. Most Nigerians are serve parrots. Give them a job, like my brother said, I'll sew this thing in 2 days. Don't worry, give me the money. But they pay the person the money. Instead of him to do the work, he just flange your, runs to Abuja, stay in Naikonoga for 2 weeks. Before the man called him, he said, oh, sorry, we have power supply problem in my place. They are serve parrots. They promise they can't do. Some are serve elephants, some are serve butterflies. We have very few serve ants. Until you become a serve ant, you cannot overcome poverty. You cannot create wealth systems. You cannot become resourceful. You can only become productive. And you don't get wealth through productivity. You get wealth through resourcefulness. To be productive is for a man to get hoe and land and then farm, then harvest corn or yam. To be resourceful is for a man to farm. After harvest corn and yam, he has a system where he can process the corn and yam to corn this, to corn that, to yam this, to yam that. Hello? And I embarked on a 7 years research on ants. Let me share 2 as I run up now. A male ant, scientific fact, when a male ant mates with a female ant, the male ant dies. When a female ant gets pregnant, the female ant loses his wings. How far are you willing to die for your vision? To lose your ego, to lose your pride. Some of you, God have given you vision. Like my brother said, he said the course of his project, he can go into Ajegule. Ajegule, people are always his audience and all that. Some of you have vision. God have given you vision, concept on how to package red cooking oil. Hello? To special product. They say, come on, I'm a graduate. I'm an elite. I live in VGC. My dad is an elite and all that. I can't go into that business. It's cheap. It's stupid. If a white man handles Kuli can employ 100,000 people. Coca-Cola today employs about 350,000 people, full-time, worldwide. And Coca-Cola is inferior to Zobo and Kunu. We must be humble. How far are you willing to die? Ants, ants are seeds. You must become a human seed to your profession, to your dream. Destiny does not open up to human beings. Destiny opens up to human seeds. Until you become a seed, you cannot see. That's why the first 3 letters in the word seed is simply C. S-E-E. Until you become a seed as an accountant, you cannot see the invisible as an accountant. Until you become a seed as a fashion designer, you cannot see the invisible as a fashion designer. What does it mean to become a seed? To become a seed is that what you are doing drives you. You become maritally committed, maritally united to your vision. The Bible says now the people is one. Therefore nothing shall be withheld from them which they imagine to do. Genesis 11, the story of the Tower of Babel. Until you become one with your vision, with your project, you cannot receive the power to build towers by your project. That's what it means to become a seed. Destiny does not answer to human beings. It answers to human seeds. We sing, our land is green, we sing. But the land that's ever been green is our mind that hasn't been green. Let us wake up and get back to sense. And the way to get back to sense is to have the heart of a servant. And finally, servants, when an ant, every ant has 2 stomachs, scientific facts. One stomach, it feeds food for itself. The other stomach, it feeds food to go and share it with its neighbors. That talks about you having a dream. What most of us have is not dream. We simply have need. A need is different from a dream. A need is what you require but you lack. But a dream is what your word lacks, that you have the potential, the makeup to provide. You having a house in VGC is not a dream. Having a good job is not a dream. A dream is what your society, your organization lack, that you have the potential, the passion to fulfill. So it's high time we stop having needs. We go to the level of indeed having dreams that can transform our world. God bless you. Finally, let me read from Green Wise Green. Human structure. How can we ever rise when we yet import rice? Can we ever become lucky as the turkey we import? We have become so saddened as the sardine we import. We now school for decoration when we should school for inspiration. We now school to fill our minds when we should school to free our minds. We have many engineers who are merely engineering textbooks. We have become human textbooks, filled with facts from cover to cover, empty of fruits from KG to PhD. We turn our roads to flower gardens, while our lives is full of thorns. Fertilizers for our farms, while our mind is barren as hell. Ultramodern market centers, while our hands cannot produce. So many infrastructure, so scarce human structure. Infrastructure, basic amenity for comfortable living. Human structure, basic mentality for productive living. God bless you.
Shall we give him another clap in appreciation for that powerful delivery? Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. he has shed so much light and so much depth. And I believe that each and every one of us will now move with a consciousness of service. A wise man said, how far you've gone on the wrong route will never lead you to your right destination. How far you've been doing the right thing will not give you the correct outcome. All you need to do is have a turn. So as we proceed this afternoon, we have just 2 more speakers who will be talking to us briefly on 2 other areas. They are products of Covenant University, doing great things out there. And the first on the line is our own very Akintayo. He has been a frontline individual campaigning for change. And this afternoon, he's just done a book. The book will be out, I think, tomorrow or this week. A very powerful book. Even before the book, we've been receiving so much responses on it. And I think he'll be going to Abuja with the president, the minister for information, all in defense of this product. Please, let's respectfully welcome Akintayo as he shares his own thoughts with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. I'm thinking I should wait for the screen to come up, but at the same time, I can see that we are trapped here. The rain is falling, so nobody can step out. I have 20 minutes. September 30, 2009, I got to a point in my life where I was approaching, let's use the word midlife of productivity. In fact, I was getting to that age when you say, what do you want to do with your life? And I'm sure a lot of us have that question. We're in that phase of our lives. So